Welcome to the Movie Talk Show with Dave D.C. Callari from DC Unboxed and from the Screenwriter's Room, the screenwriter himself, Rob Alvarenga. Now, here is your host, Joe Zapata.
Welcome, guys, to Movie Talk. We got another great week. We have Spider-Man crushes records online, and of course, Daredevil season 2. There he is up top right there, the man with no fear, Rob Alvarenga. What's going on, Robbie?
No fear, never. What's up, fellas?
And of course, Dave D.C. Callari from DC Unboxed. What's going on, Dave?
Vanessa!
All right, man. But before we start getting into everything else, let's first start our first topic. There's a couple things that are sure in life: death, taxes, and Chuck Norris. The reason we have no dinosaurs, because of Chuck Norris. He can rub 2 ice cubes together and make fire. It's Chuck Norris. That's right, man. We lost Chuck Norris, and really sad to see him go. But I think he will rise again. I'm a big Christian. I believe he will rise again. Chuck Norris passes again. I got the picture up there right now. I put him in a Force Ghost look because I think that's deserving, because he is a Force Ghost. Chuck Norris passes away. Someone that I grew up in the 80s, obviously, with, going back to Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee and stuff. You can't say enough about the man, the legend, Chuck Norris. So, I'm going to start with Rob. I'm going to start with you. Chuck Norris passes away. Tell me, what did you think about that when you heard the news?
Well, just that, it's not that death found him. It's like he went after death. So time waits for no man, unless that man is Chuck Norris. So, but you could just go on. I love, it's a true celebration of one of these, like, it's just a true icon.
Mm-hmm.
That it's the first time I remember seeing Chuck Norris was him fighting Bruce Lee. And it was the first time that you saw Bruce Lee, and he was just like, get respect. I'm like, who is this guy? Yeah. And then of course, the rest is history. The cool thing about Chuck is that he embraced this persona. And it followed him, throughout, his entire career, about just being this man that's just impossible, but makes the impossible possible. It's just it's really sad, when these type of people that are like a true pop culture like phenomena, they pass away, and just it feels like the world has a little less in it, when they go. So, yep. But no, he's gonna be missed, but we're gonna remember him through all the memes, the jokes, and of course all the kick-ass movies he's been part of.
Yep. I do have some memes here I could show you guys, but before I get Dave's point of view, I got a couple of them I want to put up here that I thought were pretty funny. This one was always pretty good. Here. Let's see if it comes up. The flu has to get the Chuck Norris shot once a year.
That's awesome.
That was a pretty funny one. What else I got here? I got another one over here that says that Chuck Norris was arrested for carrying a concealed weapon. He was only wearing a towel. Yeah, that was a pretty good one. And then they have another one over here that says, this one here where we got Freddy Krueger has nightmares about Chuck Norris.
Fact.
That's a fact. Dave, we were joking about this all the week, and not in a bad way. We were just saying the memes are pretty crazy about Chuck Norris. You heard the news. What does it feel like, Chuck Norris, world without Chuck Norris?
Listen, Jesus might be able to walk on water, but Chuck Norris can swim through land.
Also true.
Chuck Norris.
So, it's a shame too, only because like he posted up a video about his 86th birthday like 10 days prior.
Yes.
So I don't know, I don't know if we've gotten the full story about what actually happened. And I think I'd rather see what we've been getting, like an actual celebration of who this guy was, and going back and visiting, like, people. I don't know if people realize this. Bruce Lee invited him to be on that movie, and mostly to make it look real and have someone be a formidable opponent, because at the time Chuck was a world champion, and Bruce Lee, as good as he was, he never fought professionally. He never fought in the ring. He never had like an actual fight.
Mhm.
So there's
Yeah.
that, you know.
Uh-huh.
But the memes have been great. You know, he
It's
kind of
crazy.
he Walker Texas Ranger, like he was just always there. He was just always just
Mhm.
a part of the fabric of pop culture. And you know, even I saw an interview with him pop up about his faith as a Christian. So it's really cool to see stuff like that. We had him, we had Hulk Hogan, the singer from Three Doors Down, everyone putting their faith out there, and it's unfortunate it has to come with the loss of their lives, but at the same time, it's great to see some of that stuff glorified, and
Mhm.
and it kind of like maybe it makes some of that stuff more palatable to the masses because they're like, oh, this person I looked up to for like 25 years, you know what I mean? So I just think the way he went out and the way he's kind of been talked about and celebrated since then has been kind of what you would want.
Mhm. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Chuck Norris, rest in peace. Also, guys, also we lost actually Valerie Perrine, who played Miss Tessmacher in Superman. Obviously, she passed away, and I actually saw her maybe a couple years ago. She wasn't looking too great at one of the Chiller events. I saw her; she wasn't looking too good. So she passed away. Miss Tessmacher, another one. Rest in peace. It's very sad to see that we're losing somebody like every other week. It's kind of crazy.
I don't is there's almost nobody left from the first Superman movie.
Yeah.
Is he alive? Non, who played? Is he the only one alive? Maybe
I don't know.
I don't know. I think he
But
might be alive.
they were a tiny, like all the big shots, right?
Yeah, got
Like
yeah, they're gone.
Richard Donner,
Yeah.
Yep,
Reeve a
they're all
long time ago, Gene Hackman just recently,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Kidder, like, come on, man.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no,
very
it's
sad.
all the Gen X heroes that are going, and it's like it's only now that we're of a certain age we realize like these people that we were like following and watching their movies and all this stuff. It's just like they were full blown, they were adults when we watched them when we were kids, and it's like wow, the age gap. It's like it's really hitting. Like yeah, we're getting older, but now it's like this is like another reminder that we really I know I do. I appreciate my childhood because these people, they help shape it. They help made it,
Mhm.
fun. And for us Gen Xers, man, hey, anyone that's left that you grew up, just following, enjoying, just and remember them now, celebrate them now if they're still around because we're coming to a time, like Dave said, that they're all gonna be gone pretty soon.
They're all going to be gone. Yes. So rest in peace, Chuck Norris, Valerie. It gets really sad. All right, guys, let's go on to our next subject.
Yeah.
And
Peace actually rests in Chuck.
that's right. Rest in Chuck Norris. One of our next subjects we want to talk about is obviously last week we talked about Arnold doing some stuff, saying King Conan and everything. Now, they actually even got it that Arnold is training. They have a script, and they actually show a little bit of a title thing of King Conan thing here that they're trying to do. But it's happening and it is coming out. I didn't think it would be coming out this fast, but Arnold says he wants it out by next year. So I was like, whoa, this is pretty amazing. Dave, are you going to watch a King Conan movie with Arnold?
I might just to see like just is it any good? And I don't know. Is anybody asking for this? Are they going the way overdue legacy sequel route? Are they trying to play on the fact that He-Man should hopefully make a little bit of noise in a couple more months?
Mm-hmm.
Why are they doing this? So I don't know. I'd be interested. Listen, Arnold's always kind of fun to watch.
Yep.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
And like Conan was one of those movies that jumps, it solidified his career, even though he did so much more since that. But like that was like, oh, this guy can really do this thing. So we'll see.
All right. We'll see. I don't think it would be a box office, theater premiere. I think it'd be more like streaming, Netflix. I think that's where it would sit because Arnold hasn't done something in a theater in a while. So, Rob, what do you think about this King Conan? It's happening.
It's happening. Just it kind of is a good segue from the last segment. Listen, Arnold's one of our, one of us Gen Xers, like heroes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if for anything, to see him maybe one last time, possibly the big screen, yeah, I'm gonna be in on that. It's there's not much really to like, that I've read about this story, but I am very encouraged to see that Christopher McQuarrie has written the script and is directing it, and he
Wow.
did Mission Impossible.
Oh, wow.
So he's got chops. You know that's action there. There's supposed to be quote madness, violence, magic, and creatures. So all right, that throwing some Arnold in there. I mean, it sounds like it makes sense. Sounds like it could work. And
Mhm.
if for anything, like I said, if this make, I think if they got this kind of like writer director to do it, I think this has to have a theatrical release. And if
Mhm.
that's going to be the case, I mean, look, the people that float the money, that produce these things, they have, these like reports, they studies, and they understand that if they put this thing on the screen, people are going to come because
Mhm.
again, when's the last time you saw Arnold on the big screen? It's like there's only gonna be a few more times, if any more times past this, that you can see him do that. That's gonna be an event in itself. So I think this is actually might do okay.
Okay. Well, guys, leave a comment. See if you want to see this movie with Arnold King Conan. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. Our next subject is we actually had last week, wherever we had the Spider-Man trailer dropped, really big. And I watched it a few more times the other day and was watching a little bit. I've been watching like every day. And the Spider-Man trailer has broke records. It is actually now the number one viewed trailer. I think it's crossed over 1 billion views, 718 million views in 24 hours. And it's over 1 billion views. It's number one trailer viewed online. It's going crazy. The trailer's great. The trailer's great. Rob, did you expect this, that it would be this great with the being of the views, the number one?
Uh Sort of. I mean, it's again, it's anytime there's been an announcement for a new Spider-Man film, the trailer has always done well. And it didn't matter who was playing Spider-Man at the time. So it's really hard to mess up Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that it reached 1 billion, that's awesome. I didn't think it was going to go all the way to that record.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the hell, I mean, I could speak for myself. I've seen that thing well over 100 times, and it keeps getting better every time I see it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, it's again. I think I spoke about this in our last show, but it just shows it's a testament to the power and influence of this character. I mean, everybody loves Spider-Man, and if you're gonna give us possibly a really good Spider-Man story,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah, this trailer is very solid. Dave, what do you think about this breaking records? Deadpool and Wolverine, I think, only made 385 million views. It's doubled or tripled that already.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
mean,
think?
listen, it's great, and it's going to be sad if the movie sucks.
Yeah, that's true.
As long as the movie delivers, like it's worth it. And then what Rob says, like, how do you can't really mess up a Spider-Man movie. The only way you mess up a Spider-Man movie is take Spider-Man out of the movie. It's the only
That's
way
right.
it's the only way we've had bad Spider-Man movies. So
Exactly.
it
100%.
shows you just enough, it gets you excited. It shows you kind of all the new characters. I know everyone's seeing Scorpion, like finally a big payoff from like almost a decade ago now at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously I think we also got shown some of the scenes where characters are CGI'd out. So it's a little bit of a surprise in the theater, which I can appreciate. I don't want to see everything before I go in the theater. So if this was the only thing we got till July, I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you both. Do you think Doomsday gets as big as views as many as Spider-Man any day?
The trailer, probably
The
not.
trailer. What about you, Rob? You think trailer gets as many views?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. I'll be interested to see. I think it will get up there close, but I think Spider-Man will still beat it because Spider-Man's so loved. But we'll see. We'll have to see. But I really think it'll be close. All right, guys. We'll see. The next big thing I want to talk about is obviously yesterday we had the premiere of season 2 Daredevil Born Again. And Rob, you had your Daredevil mask on and your sticks going and everything. It debuted yesterday, and I watched the episode. I thought it was absolutely great. It premiered, did well. Beginning was awesome. His new suit was awesome. The ending was really great. And we could talk about spoilers. I don't care. How it happened at the end. A little saved by Bullseye. The middle, we didn't see too much of Kingpin, but that was fine. He was kind of in the background. Like I said, Mr. Charles, played by Matthew Lillard, Excellent little choice there. I can see him going to be dead, possibly. Dave, what did you think about this episode premiere?
So what I liked about it is that it starts off right away. There's nothing like legit on the tail end of season one. And what is it? Maybe 3-5 months after season one. There's no lag time. It's just right to the action, which is great. I don't mind not seeing a lot of Kingpin because we know he's in the background. We know he's doing things. So now it's going to be up to Matt and Karen, whoever else shows up, to do some of like the detective work and see where things are. Matthew Lillard is a great choice. He's super obnoxious as this character. He's already under Fisk's skin, which I know is the point. I am curious about Miss DeFontaine's involvement. Like, where at first he's sent, like, I want to know where this is going. I'm obviously fine to see it as the show, unfolds naturally, but a lot of things that I think will pay off. And I really like the introduction of his character as he's sitting at the bar, and then you get like the little focus pan out to see that he's in Washington. So already episode 1, we're already out of New York City. So like things are growing, things are pushing out. And then even we had the refugees from the boat, the Greek the Greek seamen or whatever. So it's like stuff is happening. Action was good, suit was great. I'm just excited to see where it goes. And it was interesting. I remember when we saw like the weird Kingpin commercials, I was like, oh my God, they're doing Into the Spider-Verse in live action. And no, it's just like a parody of Fisk's time as mayor. But I thought that was actually a really, really ingenious way to put that stuff in there.
The ending, were you surprised? I thought Jessica Jones was going to pop in and save him, but were you so shocked with Bullseye?
Actually, as I saw the shots go, I was like, who the hell is this? And then as soon as I saw the knife show, I'm like, oh, all right. That's fine. I think Jessica Jones is in episode 3 or 4 inclusion. I could be wrong. Right. Could be this one.
Yeah. Rob, you saw it. What did you think about it?
I thought it was excellent. I'm glad. I like the direction that it started, because it's like Dave said, they just jumped right into it, even though it's a bit of a time jump, but everything gets like explained right away, which is I really love that. Don't spend too much time trying to catch us up. No, just throw us into the shit and just let us figure it out, which is cool. That's why I like the propaganda videos that you start off, that the episode starts off with. It kind of shows how Fisk has made himself quite comfortable as far as like controlling the narrative of what he's actually doing with the city. He's trying to make sure that he's looked at as a true savior of the city. He's reminding people that the anti-vigilante task force is out there keeping everybody safe. And we get a real look at, like, it's kind of like it's secret police, but it's out in the open. And it's really cool how they use, like, basically like how with TV streaming online, those type of propaganda tools, those are real things that we see in real life. And it's just a really hit home, like, Fisk has a stranglehold on the city, okay, because he's not going to let what's really happening out in the public view, which is the reason why he freaks out when the ship, the freight, gets sunk, because now the Hudson River has all kinds of evidence to show that he's actually running weapons into the city, and he's still doing his crime thing. So it shows how it is a full court press on the hunt for Daredevil, and basically just wiping out anybody that could try and possibly bring Kingpin down. So it maybe it had a slower pace, but this is world building. It's a different world from when we last saw it. And to really show what Daredevil's really up against, the reason why he's going to need the Defenders to come in. So for that, I mean, I just thought the writing was on point. Matthew Lillard's character is something else. because every single scene he's in, he is stealing. You're like, wow, who is this jerk who has power? It's enough to like, give Kingpin pause. And any character that could do that, he's a serious player. So the whole Karen Page and Matthew kind of like trained together. That was cool. Just to see that he has like his close confidant girlfriend, to keep him through. And the one part I want to bring up is the psychologist, his former boo, who's now seeing Muse. And that is really interesting. So
Yes.
she's haunted by evil spirits. This is a question she actually asked the swordsman, which is actually kind of like telling of like, who threw that question in? It's probably her. And, does this mean like she's gonna become some kind of like, character or Muse knockoff? I don't know. Is she Typhoid Mary? I don't know. Something like that came across my mind, but I just thought like that's gonna come back, and it's gonna come back in a really heavy way. So overall, I mean, I loved it. It's the cliffhanger with Bullseye saying "You're welcome" on his knife. Wow, awesome.
I know someone who saw all of the episodes. I know next week we get 2 of them, and they said it was a little bit slow. He said the endings are great. You're gonna love them. Dave, I wanted to ask you, where do you compare the Born Again so far? We got first season, now this one compared to the Netflix series. The Netflix series was really good. Where do you compare them?
But also, before we move to that, so it's one episode a week, which is annoying, but also it gives you something to look forward to. We get 2 next week, and then we get was it Punisher one last kill the week after this. So who knows if this kind of sums up in there, which would be awesome. The Netflix show just did all the heavy lifting. Like it did literally all the world building. Like they're still doing stuff. They're expanding right now. So like Rob has a point. They're expanding it, but I really think that the Netflix show really set the tone, set the precedent, set the worlds up. So we understand how Matt functions in this New York City. We understand why he does the things he does, how he cares about the people that are close to him. And we've also seen like how bad Fisk can really be. The line from Bibi, she's like, listen, Fisk is playing like some 10th dimensional chess, and she's right. She's right. So if you go back and even watch everything that happened in season 3, I don't know if they're better or anything like that. It's just like they're just doing all the right things, building upon what came before it. They're not taking anything away from it. They're adding to it in the proper way, and they're just staying true to the tracks that have been laid. I think Daredevil is easily Marvel's best show, Netflix included, to now.
Yep, 100%. And I think I'm going to go on a run, because if you have this series being good, you got One Last Kill with Punisher leading then to Brand New Day. I think we can have a little bit of a run here with Marvel. I don't know. The MCU might be, on back. I heard a lot of great things about Vision Quest. That Vision series is supposed to be really good. That's what I hear. Rob, did you think this series so far is lining up as good as the Netflix series that it came out?
It is a solid extension of that series. Dave said it, he said it perfectly. The original series did so much heavy lifting to set up what we're watching now. That was like one of the things when the new series was announced, that is this going to be a continuation of, because I mean, for 3 seasons, that show got you so invested in everything, and basically they just said, you know what, we're just gonna bring it over, do some tweaks because we got to marvel it up right now, MCU style. But it's not heavy-handed in that respect. It's still gritty. It's showing a lot of gore, because even with this episode, Daredevil is snapping some dude's arm in half, and you see it, which is great. But I think for me, it's like when you see it originally done, it's always gonna have like a high place in your psyche, in your heart, because they did it first. So that's why I'm always gonna lean to like the Netflix show being like the better one, only because they're the ones that took the risk. They took that source material, says, look, Daredevil has to be gritty and hard hitting. and they didn't flinch. So, Marvel understood. I mean, even though Marvel was associated with that, it was a Netflix production. And so they respected that. They're like, you know what? You guys got what we wanted out of this. Why would we mess that up? So that's why this series is as good as it is.
Mhm.
If I'm comparing it, I think I like the original more because it was just a little more grittier for me. But at the same time, it's like it's a very almost a seamless transition to the MCU version that we're getting right now.
Yep, 100%. I mean, I wish we get to see some more Frank Castle and Matt Murdock scenes, because when them two are on camera together, those scenes were, I watched some clips of them on YouTube. It's just great. Just great scenes between both of them, man. A lot of stuff.
Season
All
two,
right.
season two Daredevil is peak Daredevil and peak Punisher. Even
Yeah.
though the Punisher show is great on its own, season 2 Daredevil is it.
There it is. Well, next week we got 2 episodes. We'll talk about it also next week. All right, guys. Let's go to some questions that we got in from the fans. We're going to go answer some of them. Here we go. All right. So Melissa R, you've got a lot of emails you sent me. So here you go. Melissa R says, hi guys, new follower. Are you guys married? Just asking. You seem chill to hang with. Sorry for a deep dive question. Hee. All right, Melissa. I am divorced. So happily divorced. You guys can tell what you are.
Well, one, we are very chill to hang out with.
Yeah.
That's not too much of a deep dive question. Deep dive would be like, Joe, why'd you get divorced? That's a deep dive question.
Yeah.
Good point, Dave. Yeah, so you guys both, Rob, you go ahead.
Not married, but in a relationship.
Okay, Rob?
Yep, I am married with kids.
Okay, there you go. I have kids too. So. All right, so there you go, Melissa. So hopefully no email next week. All right. Next one. Here we go.
Wow.
George T, he said from New Jersey, says, hey, Dave, did you know the original name of Ghostbusters was Ghost Smashers? And according to film lore, Janine Melnitz came up with the GB logo. Did you know this?
Well, yes and no. So like, actually, I'm trying to remember, because it had to go through, like, because everyone knows that there was the show from like 1974 that was called The Ghostbusters, and then Filmation owned that name forever. So Columbia had to pay them. They started filming the original Ghostbusters. Like, some things were said with Ghostbusters, like when they were filming the commercial, like Ghostbusters, and they were like Ghost Smashers and then Ghost Breakers. Like, God, if we film the whole movie like this, it'll take forever. So they paid Filmation $500,000 or $500,000 for the rights to the name.
Wow.
So they could use it. But yeah, it had like Ghost Smashers, Ghost Breakers, Ghostbusters. As far as Janine coming up with the logo, I've never heard that. Doesn't mean it's wrong. I've just never heard it.
Okay. All right. We got that. Here we go. Next question here. And this one says, Greg J from New York says, hey, Rob, as a Spidey fan, do you think it becomes Hobgoblin? I got everyone else in there. What's going on?
Man, you know what? Yeah, Greg, that's good. That's a good question. I was actually thinking about that because online, they already got people. It's already been eyed up, with Ned, being in a Hobgoblin suit. I don't know, man, because it's to be honest, because of the way they've created and done this character in the movies, it'd be seriously jarring and heartbreaking to have him become Hobgoblin. I mean, sort of like having some kind of like like hypnotizing situation happening. I don't think so. Because I know they're gonna be young adults, but if you follow the character Ned Leeds in the comic books, he's just so different from this Ned Leeds. And being that he's so lovable, caring, and to have like almost a 360 character change to become Hobgoblin, it's tough for me to see that. I don't think we're gonna get that.
Dave, you think so or no?
No, I don't think so. I think Rob's right. That what they've built Ned up into in the movies is fantastic. I like it. And it's going to make whatever we see in Brand New Day even harder, because we know how close they were. Like, yes, he's going to be sad about MJ. Like, we know that. Mm-hmm. But we never really, like, in all the other movies, his only friend was Harry. and he turned out to be an asshole, obviously. So this is the first time he actually has a friend, a good friend, his guy in the chair, and he played such a big role in No Way Home. So it would have to be some real 180 stuff that probably wouldn't go over very well. I don't really want to see it. Give us a different version of Hobgoblin. You've given us so many different things and taken so many liberties with the source material already. Like, why are we going to stick to that? Give us something different.
100%.
Yep, I agree. All right. Chris K from PA, he says, do you guys think MCU wasted Kang as a villain?
I think so. Jonathan Majors wasted Kang as a villain.
Yeah. That's the real answer. I thought that Kang was a more than worthy big baddie. And there were just so many things they could have done with that character. And honestly, not just Jonathan Majors screwing that up, but whoever wrote like the character that what happened to Kang in Ant-Man, Quantumania. I'm sorry, but Kang should not get beaten by Ant-Man. That should never have happened. So, on top of what happened with Jonathan Majors, then you had that. Yeah, I agree. I think they completely wasted this character.
100%. You think so too, Dave? They wasted that character?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Kang, on paper, he would have been good. Not Thanos level good, even though in the comics he probably is on par. But the way he was introduced and what they did with him in Loki, I was like, is he gonna get scary? Like Thanos was legit scary.
Yes.
Even at the end of Infinity War, when he gets all the stones, I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna happen. Like I never had that with, and granted, we had so much time with him, but I just never, unless they had some crazy trajectory for Kang, they just needed to be able to do more with him. And I don't know if it would have ever gotten there.
I think they did. I think they did have very big plans for Kang, because I was looking at, what would have been the Kang Dynasty Avengers movie.
Yeah.
And that story is wild. It's beyond wild, like bloody wild. And but like Dave said, we'll never know. We'll never know if it could have been.
They decided to go in a different direction and do some more, like pull a multiverse move that makes sense and just recast him. Like that's also fine. We didn't have enough time with him to really care if we get a different version of Kang. You know what I mean? But like, you're not going to give us Josh Brolin for 6 movies and then switch him up. Like that makes no sense.
Yeah.
But I don't think there was enough established with Kang, and Jonathan Majors didn't really have enough personality in the character that's like, just give us somebody different. Hell, give us Michael B. Jordan. I'll take that.
Yeah. 100%. All right, next one. Frank T from Clifton, New Jersey says, if Peter only went to Nick Fury instead of Doctor Strange, he could have used Peter Parker as a Skrull, have Spider-Man come out at the same time during a press conference. The end. So I guess if you went to Nick Fury, of course, there's a lot of things you could say, with that whole thing about turning back time with Doctor Strange. I don't know, Nick Fury could have went as a Skrull.
Yeah, but then Peter Parker isn't big sad in the next movie.
Yeah, then look, and that's legit true. The reason why people are celebrating this suppressed version of Peter Parker is because how New York City is that? If anyone has been in New York City, a lot of depressed dudes, a lot of people broke, a lot of just trying to make things happen in New York City. So no, we would have had a missed opportunity with what we have now.
Because he could ask Doctor Strange just to make Mysterio, forget what he said, right? Couldn't he just say, tell Mysterio forget what he said, and everyone forget what Mysterio said?
I don't think they were thinking straight in the moment.
No, they probably was a little bit confused with everything that's going on. All right, let's see what we got here. Bill R. from New York says, hey, Rob, would you consider writing a book or only sticking to scripts?
Oh, no, I would definitely write a book. That's one thing that it's one of my goals. I do want to write hopefully more than one book, but at least one. And there's definitely, I've had an idea for a long time, kind of like in the vein of like an anthology kind of concept where it's like, I thought that maybe this could be like a script version, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, what, I want to write this out. And so that's something I've been working on for years. But, no, when the time comes, I'm going to make sure that's going to be my focus. But absolutely, no, I definitely want to write a book, and I envision that happening.
All right, perfect. That's it for the questions, guys. Like and subscribe, leave a comment, leave a message. You got another great week, another great show. We will see you guys next week. Peace out, man. You got it, man.
Yeah, Zapata brand media in the building. NJ Roots, heavy bass feeling. Let's go. Started from nothing. Jersey streets, we owned it. Jay-Z pumping iron. Bodybuilder coded. Years on the course, athletic, mind focus. George in the boardroom, boxing mind, we know this. 3 fighters united, hustle in our veins. From basement dreams to global campaigns. Zapata brand, we rise to the top. Zapata brand, we guard the state, we never stop. Built from sweat, now the world knows our name. Zapata media, remember the flame, I'm proud of brand media. From NJ to the world, we fight on.